Hi, everyone. Thank you for attending this event. My name is Giovanni from Sonomono Company. Nice to meet you. Before to start my product presentation, I would like to ask you two things. The first question is, who would like to live longer? Who would like to live a long life? And I think I would be the first to raise the hand, say, I want to live long. I would like to reach, 90, 100 years. But there is a problem. As many of you may know, nowadays people are living longer lives, but the problem is that they are getting sicker. When they are after 60, 70 years old, they have a lot of sickness, so it's really not very happy to live a long life if you are going to be sick. So the next question would be, who would like to live a long and healthy life? So that's the main question. So if you raise your hand like me, and you say, I would like to live a long and healthy life, I would like to introduce you one of the best kept Japanese secrets for a long and healthy life. And that is natto. I think many of you know this natto. It's a traditional Japanese food made by fermenting soy with a peculiar bacteria called Bacillus subtilis bar natto. So natto is like that. For people who have never tried natto, it's a kind of very slimy food and has very, very strong smell like aged cheese. But the truth is that it's super healthy. Since more than 1,000 years ago, Japanese people have been eating natto to support their health. And why? Before they didn't know, but lately, thanks to modern science, a lot of Japanese researchers have been debunking the secrets of natto. Why is it a super healthy food? And they found the next. Soy is a superfood itself because it has a very, very high protein content, same as meat. But after it becomes natto, thanks to the fermentation process, the protein becomes amino acids, and amino acids are easier to use by your body to make muscles and to keep our basic functions. So for our body, it's easier to use the protein from the natto than from the soy itself. The other reason is that natto is the highest vegetable source of vitamin K, K1 and K2. And why is vitamin K2 important? Because vitamin K2 helps to keep a healthy blood circulation and also strengthen bones. So there are several studies that shows that eating natto even helps to prevent fractures if you are over 60 years old. And that's thanks to the high content of vitamin K. Another thing is that natto contains nattokinase, and that's an enzyme. And this enzyme helps to dissolve blood clots. So what it means that it may help to prevent a brain thrombosis or even a heart attack, and also it softens your heart walls. So in brief, it supports the blood circulation. And it has a lot of good compounds, but let me talk just about the last thing. The last thing is the natto bacteria itself. The natto bacteria is a super powerful probiotic. And that probiotic has the ability, the special ability, of kind of constructing an ideal intestinal environment that supports the growth of other good bacteria and suppress the growth of bad bacteria. So it helps you to reach an optimal intestinal balance, and it has a lot of benefits. One of the benefits is that it improves digestion. So, for example, for people who suffer from constipation, a good intestinal environment helps to have a better digestion and have a regular, we could say, travels to the washroom and the toilet. And also, maybe the most powerful effect of the natto bacteria is that it helps to support immunity. it produces a lot of compounds that support immunity, and it also strengthens the intestinal barrier. So it means your intestines get stronger and assimilate nutrients in a more efficient way, but also support all the cells that belong to the immune system. So that is maybe the most powerful feature of natto. But let me tell you something that is not very, very happy about natto. The natto bacteria is a special kind of bacteria called bacillus. This bacteria, after you eat natto, enters into your stomach, and because of the gastric acid of your stomach, the bacteria is going to die. So that's a big, big, big demerit of eating raw natto. You can eat 10 packages of natto, and unfortunately, almost all the natto bacteria is going to die. So if you eat natto day after day and in large quantities, maybe you are going to reap very, very good health benefits. But otherwise, the bacteria is going to die. You are going to get the vitamin K, the vitamin K2, the amino acids, the nitric acid, but not the bacteria. So here is where Sonomono enters. So we developed these two wonderful products, and this is the natto powder. And what is the difference between our natto powder and regular natto? Well, first, it contains all the nutrients of raw natto. Frequently, when you dry a food, you destroy the vitamins or you destroy some of the other good nutrients, but thanks to our proprietary food processing, we are able to keep all the nutrition of natto in our natto powder, so it's the same. But it has a super advantage, and the advantage is that the natto bacteria in our natto powder is not in a live form, but in spore form. And what is that spore form? Where it means that the bacteria of our natto powder is protected by a kind of natural capsule. So when you eat our natto powder, the bacteria goes through your stomach, it enters in contact with the gastric acid, and nothing happens. It survives, go on to your intestine, and then break the spore and makes a brand new body. So that's the main difference between our natto and regular natto. But also it has another benefit. A superfood is good as long as you eat, but it's kind of lazy to be eating raw natto every day because the way to use is kind of limited. So, for example, I'm going to show you a very, very traditional way to eat our natto powder. Here we have some miso soup. Show you. And one of the best ways to use our natto powder is to boost the food umami. We have two presentations. We have this one called regular and this one called mild. And the regular one tastes and smells exactly like natto, but also concentrates more money. What it means? That it's going to enhance the flavor of your food. So, for example, if something is salty, it's going to taste more salty. If something is sweet, it's going to taste sweeter. So, a very, very, very easy way to eat your natto powder is just by adding to your favorite food and enjoying. It's very good. But the way to use is almost unlimited. For example, it also can be used as baby food or to support baby food. For everyone who is watching this and has babies, know that it's a nightmare when your baby starts to eat solid food and gets constipated, because they are crying all night and it's a terrible stomachache work. Our natto powder is super popular in Japan, and one of the reasons is that parents love it. If you use the mild one, the mild version, and you mix it with your baby's food, as it has less smell than regular natto powder, it's easily accepted by the baby. So if your baby is starting to eat solid food, you just mix it with the porridge or the rice or whatever you're starting to give to your baby. And that's all. The baby won't find. It has a strong flavor, so it's going to eat easily. But there are also another benefits of this natto powder. This natto powder can be used to boost the food, the flavor of your food. So, as Noriko-san said before, if you mix this with soy sauce, it's going to be a very good dressing or a very good base, for example, for noodles or another kind of food. Personally, I eat pasta. I like pasta. So I sprinkle on spaghetti or lasagna or that kind of pasta, and it tastes much, much better. But also can be used to add body to something. Like, for example, if you mix with mayonnaise or with ketchup, it's going to be a little bit more sticky, and it's going to have a better body. So you can use it to eat with stick carrots or that kind of things. But, for example, the benefit of this one, the mild one, is that it has exactly the same nutrition and the same quantity of probiotics than the regular one, but the flavor and the smell are less stronger. So it means you can use with a lot of food and you won't notice you are eating natto. So for people who don't know natto, are afraid of where looks nice, but what about the smell, what about the flavor, we recommend starting from this one. And I'm going to give you a proof. I know that today there are a lot of people watching this program from Southeast Asia, and this year, thanks to the global warming, we are almost dying of heat. So I thought, let's show a very refreshing way to use our natto powder. So let's make a mango smoothie. To make a mango smoothie with natto powder, you just need something like a frozen banana, some ice, natto powder, mild one. Maybe you would like to add a little bit of cinnamon. And mango juice. Excuse me a minute, I'm going to mute the mic because it's going to be noisy. That's all. Here you have. This is the best way to start a salt-free day with a natto smoothie. Awesome. I can bet you will never find that it has natto. So, of course, using regular natto, it's impossible to do something like this, or this, or this, or whatever. If you search the word natto powder, you are going to find more than 1,300 recipes from our Japanese customers. So it just shows how easy and how versatile is our natto powder. But, well, maybe some of you are wondering, what is the difference between your natto powder and another natto powder companies? I'm going to let you know one thing. I could say that we are unique. One of the reasons is that we are the only Japanese company who has scientifically researched what are the effects of taking natto powder with a population of 205 people. So when you make a kind of clinical research or something like that to check what are the effects of eating something, frequently you use mice, you use a mouse, after that you use an ape, and after that you experiment with humans. But we went all the way long until reach research with more than 200 people, and I could say that there is no other company maybe in the world who has research what happens if you take natto powder for 2 months with such a big population. The research itself maybe may not look very, how could I say, important if it's not acknowledged by the scientific community. And to make this research acknowledged by a scientific community, we publish the results of that research in an international peer-reviewed paper called Nutrients. So if you Google natto, Sonomono Natto Nutrients, you're going to find the paper. We pay to make it free. So basically, when you want to read a scientific paper, you have to pay to read it. But we want to make it available for everyone all over the world. So we pay the rights for everyone, so everyone can read it free online. So that's one of the things that set us apart from, I would say, any other natto powder company in the world. And another thing is that, as Noriko-san said, there are a lot of natto makers, there are a lot of natto companies, but there are very few companies, even in Japan, who make natto using Japanese soybeans. Almost every natto is made with imported soybeans. And among Japanese soybeans, is still fewer or smaller the proportion of non-GMO soy. And that's a very important feature of our product. It's made with Japanese soy, non-GMO soy, and also is cultivated without chemicals. Maybe a lot of people know what is the reason because soy became genetically modified. The reason is to make it resistant pesticides and herbicides and another kind of strong chemicals. So now soy concentrates 20, 30, 40 times more chemicals than simple soy. So to grow soy in a natural way is very labor intensive. So it is costly, truly. But Sonomono means, the name of our company, Sonomono means things as they are. What does it mean? That the company believes that what is really good for your body is food or products that are minimally processed, that don't contain additives, that don't contain artificial things, and that have proven health results. And that is the idea underlying every product that we create in Sonomono. So maybe you are wondering, well, it sounds good, but does it sell outside Japan? If I try to sell it in my country, I'm going to be successful? Well, I could tell you something. Last year, these products reached the number 1 and number 2 places in the health and beauty category of the Jetro Japan store in Amazon US. So, you know, American people are not Japanese people. American people don't eat natto since 1,000 years ago. American people are not accustomed to natto. Even so, our products got the first in the second place in the health and beauty category, and the health and beauty category is broad. So if you are thinking to give it a chance to our product, I would say yes, give it a chance. We are a very open and easy to deal company, so we have very, very low MOQ. So for example, if you are interested in selling and just want to try with a small quantity, just send us an email. Let's have a online meeting like this one, and let's go into talk in detail. There are a lot of things to tell about our product, and there is a lot of support that we can do to help you to marketing our product in your country. We have videos, we have pictures, we have promotional material, we have flyers. So we have all this marketing and background experience. So if you want to launch a product in your country, please feel free to reach and contact us.